Welcome to another episode of Hair Biz Radio with your host, Zakiyrah and
Mikey.
And we have an amazing guest with us here in the studio today. Her name is Christina Benjamin.
Yes.
True New Hair Loss Specialist. That's really good. I like that title. I'm excited to get into that topic and learn some of that.
You know what I'm excited about? Her energy is just like,
it is.
You know, when you meet somebody,
contagious.
it's that energy is just like,
yes, very
man,
contagious.
it's so good. It's so positive and like just great.
Yes.
So I'm so excited to have you at the table today.
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Yes,
Let's dive in here first. All right. So tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from? Are you from Atlanta? Where are you
just
from?
like everybody else, I'm a transplant here.
But you're based here in Atlanta now?
I am based here. Yeah.
Okay.
People, they say we full, but it's like, I call this Legoland because they're always building.
They're making
Oh,
room.
yeah.
They're
Yes.
making room.
They're making
Yes.
room. Okay. I am born and raised from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
The
my best friend's
D.
from Detroit.
What
yes.
up, though?
Yeah.
Okay, so for some of you guys that know what that is, you know, that's our greeting.
Yeah.
But I've been there all my life. About 6 years ago, I moved down. My sister moved first. And I'm like, then my parents moved. I'm like, y'all not about to leave?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm coming. I'm coming.
We're a real close-knit family. And we moved with my husband and my children.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very successful business down there where I was a short hair stylist in particular. I started off as an independent recording artist. I'm a Christian recording artist.
You see?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
And
thought
acting.
you meant to do a little song for us.
Air conditioning. But yeah, it's so funny. I got into hair because I was in the entertainment industry and I got tired of being a starving artist. Okay. It was cool when it was cool, but I'm like, babe, I can't keep doing this singing thing and hoping these people are going to buy the record and we need gas money and stuff. I said, what can I do if I can't be on stage and still be on stage? I did pretty good with my own hair and makeup, but that's only because I couldn't afford to go get it done. So a lot of times people were asking me, well, who did your hair and makeup? I'm like, I did.
Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, it's Lay, it's T.
Yeah.
It's T. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just something that the Lord had been I didn't realize he was even from a young age cultivating my hands to even do hair. And on top of that, a specialty. So here's the thing. I said, I will only go to hair school if I could only do short hair. I'm like, I'm only going to do short hair because I'm going to go to Hollywood. I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to be an actress. Okay. That's what the goal was. Had no idea that the Lord was really setting me up to be able to go into I feel like hair is ministry for me. So I expedited my career in a pretty short amount of time, just going into short hair. And I had no idea that was considered niche marketing. So at the time, I'm like, I'm going to study with the best. Whoever's the best short hair stylist at the time, I think out was like Razor Chick, Naja, Stephanie Anderson. You had Patrick Bradley, all kind of people that focused on short hair. I wanted to train with the best. That's what I did. So that's how I expedited that. So I was able to draw in a crowd pretty fast. And one thing I learned early on is that I didn't know anything about branding. I was pretty new to social media. However, I did know to go live and talk about what I do. No one ever talked about it. And you don't realize like you're always selling yourself.
Right.
So a lot of times, I end up making my clients look a lot like me because that's the only reason why it was because it was only certain hairstyles I could do. But then I learned how to customize them for the everyday woman, and they just loved it. With that being said, I start seeing early on, at the time, talking about alopecia was taboo. We weren't just pulling off our wigs. We weren't saying our edges was gone. And back then, there wasn't a lot of education about alopecia.
What year is this that we're talking?
Let's go back to about, when did I get here? About 6 years ago. It's 2025. I mean, even back then, let's say I start really seeing it around 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Between those times, I start seeing like, these women their edges are gone. I want to work with certain weave styles, but I want it to look natural.
Yeah.
And then I didn't quite know why their hair was gone, but we didn't know that so many women struggled with that. So what I ended up doing was starting to do camouflage cutting. So that's where you're over directing the hair essentially. But what about if they come in and can't do a comb over kind of thing? I had to still create pieces. I didn't know then God was preparing my hands to do what I'm doing now with the company I have. I was just using regular short hair units. Y'all know about the short hair units. Y'all go there's on like 5 little short hair units you can get at the beauty supply store. And what I would do was pair it with an amazing cut. That is the thing with short hair in particular. It's all about the cut. So I was able to take what I did on natural hair and replicate it on a hair system. And so essentially that's where that kind of got going. I kind of got popular in the city with that. When I moved to Atlanta, I totally had to start over.
Wow.
Where were you in Detroit, by the way? Because I spent a lot of time in Detroit.
West Bloomfield. I started in Southfield, Lathrop Village, and then I went to West Bloomfield. I ended up going into private studios because when you're working with alopecia clients, they need privacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a lot because you're dealing with a lot of emotions. A lot of them are coming in with trauma. Mm-hmm. They've been abused, going from different stylist to stylist. Most of the times they're not very trusting of you because they've had so many bad experiences. So you're dealing with a lot of stuff before you can even do what you know is best for their hair.
Yeah. I want to go back to, because you say you started off as an artist, a Christian artist, and then you weren't even thinking about hair.
I wasn't.
So what were the emotions, the feelings that you had transitioning from your passion, what you love to do, into an industry that was never really what you had in mind, even though you know that God was cultivating you to prepare for that? You didn't know at the time that that's where you were going. What was the feeling?
It was, you know what? I had to give myself permission to pivot. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you think your passion is so caught up in the actual thing you're doing. Mm-hmm. But the most organic thing was I enjoyed people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the feeling that hair gave me, it's the same endorphins I would have when I would perform.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I thought I was only passionate about this, but I get to turn someone in to feeling like $1 million in a matter of a couple of hours. Like, how can, for someone to go from no hair to hair and they're crying in your chair, like, I want this feeling for the rest of my life, you know? It was scary at first. And, I just felt like, God, I know you have so much in me. And a lot of us hairstylists, we're artists already. We're very multi-talented. Most of us have several things we're great at. And initially when you're defining what am I going to be known for, it's hard because you're so gifted. But you do have to also know that the Lord will allow your gifts to make room for you.
Absolutely.
So when it's time for me to be a singer, I'm a singer. When it's time for me to be an actress, I'm an actress. When it's time for me to be a hairstylist, I'm a hairstylist. So I learned that I don't have to just be one thing.
Right.
So it was scary. I'm gonna lie.
I'm sure. Yeah, but like you said, it is. Music invokes the same type of
It's the same thing.
As you're singing.
That I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
That chair is your stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you're singing, people are receiving the music that you're singing and they're feeling the emotions. You're just giving it to them in a different way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I love that. Okay. And then you went into hair.
Yes.
You took the big jump.
I did.
You did it afraid.
I did it so afraid. I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Yeah. I hope these people know I don't know what I'm doing.
And you went,
They don't. They didn't.
You went to hair school in Detroit?
I went to Michigan College of Beauty.
Okay.
Yes, I did. And where is that? Out of Troy. And I loved it. Yeah, okay. I loved it. It was the best thing I could have done.
Really?
I did not want to be a kitchen beautician. I'm like, I tried nursing school. I tried all this other stuff. I'm like, well, this is going to be the only thing that I have equivalent to a degree. I said, I have to get my degree. And I know it's a license, but in my mind, that's my degree. Mm-hmm. I wave it like, excuse me, I'm a licensed cosmetologist.
That's right.
Licensed. So I use that because there's no B plan for me. Mm-hmm. This has to work. Whatever I'm doing in this field has to work. So, I'm proud. I went through it and I finished. And I was the oldest person in my class,
and that's okay.
I was good.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad you had a good experience because I get mixed reviews from people going to hair school. They either really liked it or they hated it.
Yeah.
And it's just nice that you come off on the good side of it.
Can I just be transparent? When I went, let me see, by the time I went, I started at 30. I'm 43 now. So my career has not been that long. Mm-hmm. Although the type of success I've had, it looks like I've had a long career. But when I finally went to school, I remember sitting in that class, and I'm in this class with a mixed crowd of teenagers. Some of their parents forced them to go. Mm-hmm. Some of these people are in hair school. They're not really talented, but they need something. But for me, it was like, I knew I was going to be able to feed my kids. I was a starving artist. It was times I went out on the road, came back to an eviction. It's times I didn't, me and my husband been struggling, not struggling, but hustling to get our dreams for years. So it was like, I cried in that class because I'm like, I know my future is in my hands now. And, sometimes in the entertainment industry, you're as good as your last gig. Mm-hmm. You may have gotten paid for a good gig here or there, but it's not always guaranteed. Yeah. This guarantees that I can always make money. Yeah. And that was life-changing for me. So my approach to school was a lot different. I had everything to lose at that point. So some of those people in the classroom, it was just, they were just doing something. This is my lifeline. Yeah. And I found so much hope. That's why it was a different experience for me. I was fighting for something else. I was just trying to survive and give my children a life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. And because I guess that the younger age too, they
don't get it yet.
Yeah, that's not. No. It's maybe early.
I'm grown, real grown at that point. Well, husband and kids.
Yeah,
trying to eat.
But it was good though. I love that you said you pivoted because a lot of times people will wait to pivot. And one thing that a really good friend of mine showed me, even in business, as I was building business, is the best thing you can do is pivot and pivot quickly. Yeah, and to pivot quickly and be able to walk into something that you didn't even think was going to be this big when it got big, and then you got there, you honored your path and honored what you were supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. And I attribute that to my relationship with God and my husband. I have a great support system. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of like, I'm okay with doing a lot of stuff, but I'm not okay with not ever knowing what could be. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm okay if stuff don't work. But I have so much potential.
You got to go for it.
You got to go for it.
Yeah.
No one's going to tell you when to do it. You only know when.
That's true. So you went to hair school, got out of hair school, and then what was your first move after hair school? Were you working in a salon suite? Were you in an open floor salon?
Man.
What was your...
Well, I started in my basement. Okay. That's where I built my confidence. Yes. I set it up as a private suite. Mm-hmm. It was very nice. I even had a select group of people that came. That's where I built my confidence.
I love that.
But I knew I couldn't stay there because the type of services I was trying to upsell, which was a luxury experience, a more upper echelon. And I will just speak to this. It's so important that stylists get exposure, especially in the African-American community. We don't see a lot of upper echelon salons. Mm-hmm. What we think is luxury, it don't. It don't always be luxury.
Right.
Until you really do see like, wow, people pay for experiences.
Very true.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You mean to tell me I can be an experience? It's not me just doing your hair. Mm-hmm. And I attribute that to, I didn't stay with her long, but Haith Johnson out of Ferndale, Michigan, she had LaHoe's hair. She was the first African-American salon I sat in I didn't know what a consultation was. I didn't know what a private room was. Like she didn't have people on an open floor. She even served them food on a tray. I didn't know. That's an experience. Absolutely. I didn't learn that. I learned you overbook. The pay is like competitive. You get in where you think, girl, I gotta leave and go get my kids real quick. I didn't know. Yeah. And for some that's okay. There's a market for that. But to separate yourself and see like, wow, she's working with celebrities, doctors, judges, like it changed my life. It was enough to plant a seed that if she can do it, I can too. Mm-hmm. So even going home in my basement, I set it up just like that. So I built my confidence like that. And when it was time, I said, I'm going to step out on faith and I got to go to a salon. I went to a wonderful salon, Dante Jeffrey. He's another great short hair stylist out of Detroit. He had a salon called Foil Salon. Mm. And one of my friends from school recommended that I work there because they had a free chair. One of my best friends, Lauren, worked there. And that's where it all went down. And I didn't know this. The Lord had prepared me. It was just a short hair stylist salon.
Wow.
Perfect.
Who knew? That's exactly what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Iron sharpens iron. And because I was in that environment, my skills grew so fast.
Nice.
And I love that. I love the culture of being in a salon.
So did you go into the salon with clients already, or were there a lot of walk-ins?
Enough. And I'm going to tell you, at the time, what he was charging, which is nothing today, it was like $125 a week.
Oh.
But but back then, that was a lot. You had to have enough style. You had to have enough clientele.
Yeah.
That don't seem like a lot, but it is when you've not done it. I said, well, God, you going to make a way. And he did. I never lacked. And when it was time for me to leave, I knew it was time because people thought I was the owner. I knew inside his brand, as much as I loved him, I couldn't grow my brand inside of his brand. It was time for me to step out. And that's when I went private suite. Yeah.
I think that's so important, the thing where you said people thought I was the owner.
Yeah.
When you work inside somebody else's business, if you want to be successful, really successful, you always need to act like you are the owner.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You walk in there like you're 7 feet tall.
That's right.
You're just shredded as a guy, and you are just like on. You do everything as an owner. I don't care what your position is in any job.
Yeah.
If you treat it like that, because the day that you are the quote unquote owner, this is going to set you up for that, because it's a whole nother world over here. It's a whole nother world.
Now you're preaching. That's so amazing, because I knew what Dante was trying to build in that area. And I'm like, listen, whatever I could do to support it, I will. And in my mind, I thought the same way. I'm like, one day I'm going to have a salon. And this young man was younger than me. This was his second salon. But he showed me how to do it. He showed me how to do it without him even really teaching me. I just watched him. And I'm like, whatever I can do to help support his dream, that's what I'm going to do. And when it was time, I cried like a baby. But I had to go. He's like, girl, you just going up the street. I said, but I don't want to leave. I said, just go. You got this. And from then on, it was on and popping. It was True New Scalp. Well, at the time, it was Shirtique Salon.
Okay.
And eventually, when I left, that's when I rebranded.
So you left, got your own salon suite.
Yes, I did.
And then from there, how were you? Well, before that, you were already building your business.
I was already teaching
and everything. Okay, so rewind. When did you start teaching?
Girl, when I was working at Foil, I just stepped out. I had even started back then, before podcasts were coming out. I had a show called Hair Talk with Christina, and I would bring just like what you guys are doing, bringing people in, talking about what they do. Because at the time, I started to have a good following. I was kind of known in my city as far as you could tell, like, did Christina do your hair? Yeah.
You had a look. Okay. And that's where the niche
That's the niche. And that's branding. You know, putting the right people in your product. And I don't think a lot of stylists realize that. Just as much as clients choose you, you have to choose the clients.
Absolutely.
They're all not great canvases to work on and represent your product. So I'm very, I want you to be happy with your hair, but I want to be happy with your hair because it's my art going out. And that essentially, when I'm doing it again and again, I'm branding, I'm putting a signature out. So in the city, there were a few stylists that were known. You could tell by their cuts, you could tell by the styles, you could just tell who did the hair. So that's I didn't mean to.
No,
I felt something there.
Get it.
Create a signature, guys. You need a signature.
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
So when you left and went out on your own into your own private suite, how were you building did you already have your business built and clientele already built, or were you still navigating that?
I had a clientele.
Okay.
I do not recommend going into private suites without a clientele. You're going to struggle.
Good. Yeah.
Nobody's looking for you in a private suite. And to be quite honest, everybody doesn't need to be in a private. I actually miss the culture of the salon.
Everyone says that. We've had
we need to get back to it. Because there's no accountability. And you need to be around peers. When you're in a good learning environment, everybody is strong. And that makes a great team. You know what I'm saying? And I think people want to be the boss, but then they don't want to be the boss. It's not even all that, I'll tell you. Just get left home the bill.
It comes a lot. Being the boss comes with a whole lot.
And I understand like why a lot of people don't do it. But, you know, too much is given, much is required. But once I got out, even with that, I stepped out on faith again, because West Bloomfield is considered like equivalent to a Beverly Hills or something. It's more upper echelon. And with that, I knew I was going to attract a certain type of client. Also, that was letting my clientele know I'm shifting. Mm-hmm. So some of y'all can't come. I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. My skills has grown and my audience has changed. I love you guys, but I have to grow. And that's another thing. Sometimes as stylists, we won't pivot because we feel like we don't want to lose clients. You're going to gain more clients. And where you're going now, your current clientele can't take you there. They're not going to be able to. They're not going to. Some of them, you have faithful clients that will stick with you. And some of them, that's as far as they go. And that's okay.
Yeah. Just like having some friends.
Yes.
Right? Some friends, especially as you grow in business and in life, some of them keep rolling with you. And then some of them, you kind of have to let them go. They're just not ready.
They're just not ready. And that's okay.
And that is okay.
But when I tell you, I never missed a beat. I was one of that guy's best tenants. He hated for me to leave.
I know that's right. I love it.
So much overflow.
So 3 things that for someone who is in the space of wanting to go into a private suite and maybe they're building their clientele now, what would you say are the top 3 things they need to do to prepare themselves for that?
You need to make sure that 1, you have clients. Mm-hmm. Okay. 2, you're on social media, or you're going to have to really do a lot of guerrilla marketing in your community. I don't know why I meet stylists and they're like, I'm not on social media. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. Why? We're not in hair books anymore. Nobody's going in the store and looking at hair books. They did that back in the day, but that means you're only limited and you're to the clients you have and you're not going to grow. You're not. Yeah. Number 3, I would say definitely think about, don't go into your new space the same. I think it's important, just like when you move into a new location, you change up your feng shui.
Absolutely.
Because it brings a different energy.
It's a new you.
It's a new you. And you're reintroducing and you essentially are rebranding. So, and it's a good thing for your clientele to see that you're evolving. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. So all of those things, you went into the salon suite. And then from there, you were already kind of going viral on social media. And you already had your audience, clientele.
I was teaching. I had put myself on a tour. You know, I ain't know nothing about it, but I was going out of town. People were booking me for classes. Then I went to Atlanta. Everything changed.
Ooh.
So you were teaching cuts.
Where were you? Okay, cuts at the time. I wasn't even doing hair systems. Like, I was doing them, but they took a lot longer. And like, I had books. So you had one person here and one person and one person there. You know, you have somewhat of a conveyor belt kind of line, so you can work kind of fast. With hair systems, it's a lot more time, and even though you make more money, it's more time. Right. So at the time, I had a more influx of clientele than I did have time to nurture that type of clientele. But God was pulling on me because He was already telling me, when are you going to work on those wigs? At the time, that's what they were, and I'm like, I don't have time for that. Okay, I'm
gonna make some time for you.
Yeah, and I made time. He made time. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so you were traveling, teaching, and then before that, do you do any other hair at all, or are you just focused on short hair?
That is my focus.
Okay.
And you know what? As a stylist, sometimes you think you're going to limit yourself by saying, I only do one thing. But if you do
it opens you up for more. Yeah.
You sell yourself. If people are looking for red socks and that's all you do is sell red socks, they know where to go. It's like, you don't have to feel like you have to do it all. Like nowadays, because now back in the day, you had to be an all-phase stylist. You be real well-rounded. That's what school teaches you. I could do long hair, but do I shine there? Am I great there? No, I'm great with short hair. So that's what I do. That's what I teach. That's what my expertise is in. That's my niche. And I had to be okay with that for right now.
What would you say built your confidence throughout your journey getting to where you are now? I know you say you started building that in your basement, but what would you say gave you the confidence to go out and know that I'm that girl in short hair?
I didn't always know that. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, yes, I can. Sometimes I felt like I couldn't. But I know I could do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I know that even when I'm weak, He's strong. I know that even when I saw myself small, He saw me big. And so I just was speaking to my life. And, sometimes I had to even look at my work and say, wow. I even look at the pictures in my basement when I was working. And I'm like, who paid me to do this? But somebody did. And that's another thing. At every stage, you're at, there's a clientele for you.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? Those people back then, even though I look at those pictures, I'm like, oh my God, that was terrible. They loved it. They loved it. And they paid me and they tipped me.
Mm.
So, you know, at each level I went to, I had a different client that said, oh, that's it. I thought it was going to be more. You mean I could have charged you more? That they valued my gift. And so sometimes, you know, we're just focused on the wrong things. But I want to encourage you guys that's out there pivoting. It's okay to grow because at every stage, God got you. It's a clientele for you. People are waiting for you to show up.
That's really good.
And I think what people need to understand as you continue to grow, and a lot of stuff that I've done over the last 20 years, people are like, well, you know, how do you even know how to do that? And I'm like, I don't.
Exactly.
And it's just, you have to be unafraid
Yeah.
of the unknown.
Yeah.
And that's where entrepreneurs, the wildly successful entrepreneurs, they literally live in no fear. They're just going and making mistakes. Hopefully the mistakes are small and they keep going. And that's how it works. We don't know.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't know. Nobody knows. You just kind of figure it out as you go.
And sometimes those mistakes, they get costly.
They do. I've got a lot of lessons.
Oh, they get costly.
I got $1 million mistake for you. We know that.
Man.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you came down to Atlanta.
I did.
And then what brought you to Atlanta?
Well, my sister moved.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Okay, your family.
Yeah. It was a family tragedy we had, and she
Okay.
had to pretty much just start over.
Got you.
And that's my only sister, even though I have brothers, but we're very close knit. And I'm like, I need to be where my family is.
Yeah.
And because my husband, he's a music publisher.
Shout out to your husband because he back here working.
Christina Benjamin, I love you.
Her wife here getting everything she needs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody need a Courtney. That's a good man.
Oh, that's a good man, Savannah.
I do, because I'm trying to tell you, you have to have support to do this.
Absolutely.
And I have support.
Mm-hmm.
Not only I have my husband, I have my family, my children, and my family. There's no competition there. A lot of love. With that being said, I came down because I wanted to be with my family, and thank God we were in the position to do it. But boy, oh boy, I wasn't prepared.
I was going to say, what was that transition like, especially in the industry that you're in?
Man.
And uprooting a family.
It was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What people don't really tell you, like the real thing about moving, is like, what you did back there, that's not gonna work in your new environment.
Mm-mm.
You have to have, and where I was successful and I was great. And what's funny is I was very successful there as far as I felt. I had marked out all the things that I thought I felt success was. And to other people, I look very successful. And I probably could have been successful right there. And I still would have done great. But I would have never known my earning potential had I not moved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I didn't even know which I did back there wasn't going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to have to switch some stuff up. I had to have new faith. I was in a new territory. Also, when I moved, no one told me about, now it's different when you move with a salaried position.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Them social media numbers, that don't have nothing to do with you having clients in your chair.
Absolutely not.
Okay? So you still have to understand there's a whole bunch of other stylists that do what you do. And especially in Atlanta, everybody think they're a celebrity already. So it's like, everybody feels they're, it's, hey, if you are looking for entrepreneurship, this is the place to be, because if you network, great, but you do have to have a good sense of yourself. When I left, I didn't have no community around me. So I had to build one because, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And, my money dried up real fast because I was living the way I was living there when I was established. I wasn't established here. No one talks about that. And I feel like if you don't have a strong support system, I do understand why a lot of times people leave and go back home.
Mm-hmm.
You need support. And if you're not linking up with a good salon to get a good community, then you need to reach out to some groups, or you may have to, if you don't see it, you may have to be the one to create it.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who we just had somebody we were talking to about leaving their city, what they know, everything that's comfortable, and coming to Atlanta to build a business that you don't even know what it's going to look like on the other side because you're starting from ground zero. So for the people out there who are still at home and because they're scared to just jump, what would you say?
Girl, just do it, or certainly. It's not even that deep. I'm gonna be there. And in business, you have to be willing to take risks. You'll never know. If you don't take the risk, there's no return. You'll never know. You got to do it at some point. Just do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, home. You already know what home offers you, but you do. It's a reality check and it's an ego check too. You have to have a good sense of yourself to understand how to recognize and acknowledge where you need to grow, and that you may need to get out and talk about what you do. I think we're so afraid and intimidated to talk to people, but do you know a lot of people I meet, they love to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, people love to talk about themselves. Yeah.
And some of the most successful people, they don't mind sharing with you, because you know what I learned also? When you're living in a certain place of overflow, I learned this early on. Your cup is for you. Your overflow is for others.
Yeah.
So no one's not taking from your cup. You know what I'm saying? So most of them,
That's
you
good.
ask them, this and that. Like I just sit up here and talk to you before the interview, and you just gave so many nuggets before, because he's a wealth of information, and I love that. So I think if we could just get beyond the fear, just talk about what you do.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten so enamored with social media and being behind the screens, we don't know how to have a conversation.
Right.
With people, and so that
I wish
could be an
social
issue.
media would go away for a while. Just
Me
a
too.
little while.
It's too much.
I'm like, y'all gonna drive me crazy.
And then there's going to be another platform somewhere.
Somebody gonna make up
very
something.
soon. It's coming very soon. I already know it's coming. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So just do it. What was your transition like getting here in the industry within hair? So when you got here, how did you rebuild True New?
What happened was the pandemic happened. Everything stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with that being said, I start. We couldn't go into the salons anymore, and I said, how can I still make some money? Because we got to pay these bills. That stimulus
bills
check
got to
only
get
went
paid
so
Yeah.
far. So I said,
Everybody keep talking about these stimulus checks. I ain't seen no stimulus checks.
it's okay. It wasn't that much. So anyways, it didn't last that long, and I had to do what I had to do. So I first start cutting up earrings. And I said I could go to the beauty supply store, get some hoops, and I started cutting up jeans and start shredding them. I sold that online. I created a company called Deconstruct by Christina. And then I said, you know what? Let me play around with this lace. Maybe God is onto something. Let me just see. Then I just started getting so many inquiries from people that because I used myself as an example, and I kept doing this. That went viral because it was short. That's a niche.
Yes.
And it looked scalp-like. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know right then and there God was setting me up to have a hair replacement company. So I ended up getting really good over the that whole span of the pandemic. I took a unit that was probably maybe under $20, put a cut on it. In my normal salon setting for a cut would be like $125, because that is a style. For a short stylist, that's like a style. I know people that charge $200-$300 just for a cut, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this product for 20 something, but I'm gonna sell it to them for about $225. Put a little shipping, little packaging and stuff I have to do. That was nothing but turnover right there. And they were buying it. And that was my first unit called Miss Sass.
Miss Sass.
And that wasn't even a lace unit at the time. That was just a Remy velvet unit that I just cut up. But it was a style.
Yeah.
And I found that women still want to look good, even though it was a pandemic.
Yeah.
It had to be online.
So you said it had no lace?
It didn't even have lace at the time.
So it was just a bang in the front?
It was a short, cute. I wish I had a picture to insert, but it was a short, cute pixie. But you know what sold it? Me.
Mm-hmm. You said that.
Yeah.
Going back to
I put it on myself.
the brand. Yep.
I put the look together. I showed them the potential. Then I graduated to lace, and that's where I created the toning unit, where I just added, it was like a 13x4 closure. And then it was weft around here, and I would do this, and it was a pin curl unit. It went crazy.
Yeah, we're going to need a picture of that so we can insert that.
Yeah, send us a picture.
Yeah.
Get it on there.
Okay, good. So that just went from there. And then when I tell y'all what I couldn't do even before the pandemic, I was eating. And I'm like, God, I can't even do all these orders. I said, what if I taught this? Because I'm like, this changed my life. So I'm like, if I could teach them how to fish, then I won't have to do it. And I could still be part of the narrative. And that's where we went through my husband took me to Greece after the pandemic. And I don't know what it is when you in the air. You get good.
The ideas, listen, I'm sitting on the plane. Everything comes. Everything comes.
You are isolated.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't have distractions. Similar to a plane in the shower.
Yeah. It's not so many tabs up in your brain. Yeah.
Do you know God downloaded the whole game plan? He changed the name. He showed me how to rebrand it, just represent it to the world. And I just was clear. I can't even take credit for the business plan he gave me. It just was like everything just lined up. And it all happened in the air. And I just got home and I start working. And fast forward, I'm jumping around just to fast forward, but I put myself last year on my first self-sponsored tour. I was able to get in Times Square.
Yes.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I've taught over 100 stylists in my techniques. Their lives have changed. They made more money than they could ever make. They felt more fulfilled. My goal is to reach stylists that need to repurpose their career. They may not have another 15, 20 years to put into it, but they can niche down. There's an underserved clientele in the non-surgical hair replacement space, and pairing them with a great product, because essentially I'm a vendor, but I'm teaching you how to use our techniques with this wonderful product. And then I'm going to leverage my platform to help promote that you've been certified through True New Scalp, so we can begin to lead people, because I can't do everybody's hair.
Right.
And I think that's a great thing. So our goal is to make sure that whatever your specialty is, you can replicate it on one of our hair systems. So, and essentially you have access to a client you never did, right? Because you weren't doing alopecia clients or clients with no hair. Yeah,
I love that. So when you got here, you kind of got your footing off of teaching, not necessarily behind the chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
That changed the game.
So that was a pivot, because you were doing it back in Detroit, but not to the level that you were doing it here.
Do you know people fly all over from the country and world to sit in my chair, or to get a cut, to get a hair system? Never could have did that in Michigan. I had people coming, but people say, well, who do you think you are? It's something about when you leave, that value go up.
Yeah.
And it's just a different feel. And I think what also it was a different experience. Some people wanted the experience of coming in and sitting in. Same thing with the one-on-one teaching. That went to another level. And I'm the type of instructor, I'm trying to give you all that I can, because I don't know if I'm going to see you again.
Yeah.
But I always tell them, like, listen, take in what you can. There's classes I've been to that I've only learned 1 or 2 techniques because it was so much information to absorb, but it changed the game for me. You know, so I love it. I love seeing just a glimmer in their eye, because a lot of them sacrifice to come to those classes, and they're like, I need this to work. Yeah. And I want it to work for you.
Now, do you think they would come to Atlanta more because Atlanta airport is better than Detroit?
Oh boy.
Don't get beat up.
No,
according to Hartsville Jackson, they done had some stuff going on.
I know. Detroit's airport is nice. That terminal, though, Detroit terminal is low.
It is long.
I've had that flight down there. I'm like, ooh, I got to do that little walk thing. I know they have
you on that Delta end. Yep.
I have a layover in Detroit when we come back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll be down there this next month coming up.
I like Detroit.
I love it.
We opened a store there, 8 Mile in DeQuinder.
Really?
We had a store there.
8 Mile in DeQuinder.
Yeah. 8 Mile was very well known for Eminem and Mikey for a few years.
And Mikey.
For a few years. Beautiful store.
I love
Ended
that
up closing it. Good learning lesson there. We should have been closer to your area up in Southfield. I think would have done a little bit better up there.
That would do good. You could do it again. He said, that's
brick and mortar is
it's
a different beast.
It's different.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. I've thought about it, but not in today's current environment with the industry. It would not. It would not work.
Yeah,
it would not work.
So I want to dive into, because throughout the interview we've talked about family, you being a wife, you being a mother. So how do you juggle being a teacher, being a support system for your students, for your clients at home? How do you balance? And it may not even be balanced, but what's the rhythm that you've created to help you sustain in each of those areas?
There's some balance. Ain't no goddamn balance.
That's like the rhythm. Or what's the rhythm?
You gotta be like a
be all over the place.
Yeah. You gotta be like a jellyfish in water.
Sometimes I'm just like, Lord. But you know what I learned to do? Take your beats It's about creating memories and moments.
Yes.
So like at the end of the day, it's like, what I can't get done for today, it's just not going to get done. And I've learned that it's not that deep. As I'm getting older, I'm 43 now. I do understand now why older people now, they just don't let the bug.
Yeah.
They don't. They on like this chill mode. Like, how do you get to that? Because when you live long enough and you lose enough, gain enough, and you realize that, listen, I got this one life to live. Y'all not going to stress me out. You learn like it's not that deep. I do what I can. I give what I can. And, I plan for tomorrow, but I live for today.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what it is. And of course, God centers me, but, I'm not walking around here like this all day. But, some days I'm just getting back to myself. Shoot, I'm going through stuff and changes in my own body because I'm of my age, and I start working out again. I got back to myself. I got lost in the chase of trying to be Christina Benjamin. I started struggling with imposter syndrome. I started looking like, I wish I could be her. Like, you are her.
Yeah.
It was a mind thing, because it's like, dang, you get to a certain level and people are like, what's next? What you mean, what's next? I just did so much with this level. You mean you want more? That's a lot. Now I see how Beyonce feels. How do you be your own competition?
Yeah.
And so, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're running your own race, but you're trying to be better than the version that you just put out a lot of times. And I finally got to the place where like, I am her. That's why I'm able to do it. Like you were just saying, I don't know how I was doing. I just was doing. I figured it out. I read. I try stuff. I throw stuff against the wall, see what sticks. Yeah, okay, that works. And that's the life of an entrepreneur, or anyone, or a creative. So I guess it's just about giving yourself grace.
Yeah, and
be nicer to yourself. We're so hard on ourselves.
Absolutely, yeah. And like you said, me and my husband were just talking about this the other day. Life is so serious. Just relax.
Just relax.
And I have to remind myself of that all the time, because I'm always like, this, I didn't do this, I gotta do that, or da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, relax. Like, just, girl.
Z, relax. Calm down a little bit, Z.
Take a nap. Just get it. Like, have fun. Just enjoy life, and don't make it so serious. Because at the end of the day, when we leave, ain't none of this coming.
You can't take none of this stuff with
None of it.
I tell my husband that, I said, baby, do you know one day none of this stuff is even gonna matter? So you spend so much of your life chasing.
Yes.
Like, what is that? It's not meant for you to live in survival mode.
Yes.
Forever. At some point, you have to begin to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and you got to be okay where you're at sometimes momentarily. Enjoy the view for a second. You just freaking got up the mountain. We're so ready to move to the next thing. That's why I do understand it is a journey. And it's a lot of hard things about it, but it's so many beautiful things about the journey. It's so many things you learn about yourself. That's where you build your perseverance. That's how you know you're a strong person. And that's what people admire. Like, look at the greatest athletes. It's not that you're jealous of what they do. You admire their discipline. I wish I could be that disciplined. So that's who I'm trying to be. And I think it's important that you do something personal for yourself that has absolutely nothing to do with your business, because you got to have something for you at the end of the day. The things you're building are for other people. That's not for you. What do you have for you? What's your safe space? And for me, I had to get back to, Christina, who are you at the end of the day? Why are you not taking care of your body? You building all this stuff and you won't even be here. So I started working out and I lost 20 pounds.
There we go. Let's go.
Yes, I did.
And she looked good. She looked
God
good.
gave me a whole nother business plan for that too. So we're always branding. We're always selling.
I love it. And look good.
Thank you. Glory to God.
Well, I think it's important in your 40s. I still got you beat by some years.
Okay, but you look good.
Well, you said it, not me. Okay, hubby over there.
You must be moisturizing.
One thing you'll definitely notice over time is in your 40s, the health aspect becomes infinitely more important, because it's just the amount of energy you have to try to get as much done. Because you're like me, we're trying to get all this stuff done.
Yeah.
And it's like at some point you start running out of energy.
Yeah.
And the healthier you are, the easier it is to excel, clear mind. You actually start learning that I do need to sleep.
You do.
Yeah.
You need to sleep.
And the importance of all this. And then once again, with the journey part, I think once you go through the journey a few times, you start to embrace it more. I know Zakiyrah's asked me before, like my long game at this point is crazy, right?
Wow.
And Zakiyrah's like, Mikey, just sometimes how do you just do that? Like, she's like, I just don't understand it. I was just like, I've just been through so much, and I know it's going to take time. Yeah. You don't need to always rush it.
Right.
Just enjoy those stages to get there.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
And I think why you just said it, you were talking about it, it's more about the mindset and how you take care of yourself than actually building a business. We've talked about this a lot.
For sure.
And I think for me, I've learned that building a business, burnout, and now I'm coming out of burnout. So it's like, what does the new version look like? Who are you? Who am I? What comes next? And how do you rebuild that in the midst of building the business that you already have, in the midst of serving clients, in the midst of being a wife and a mom? How is that for you? Like trying to figure out, who is Christina? Who am I? In the midst of still serving everybody else.
You know what? I just allow myself not to become a label because I'm more than one thing. And sometimes people only want you to be this one thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm freaking unique. I'm unusual. And I try to remind myself like, girl, you could be fluid. Be like water. You know what I'm saying? And I have to speak positive to myself because I realized for so many years I've been speaking so bad to myself. I've been doubting. I've been my worst hater. And when you realize like that person inside of you, that voice you've been hearing in the back of your head where it's more negative than positive, you like at a certain point, you got to reprogram yourself. And the only way you could do that, you definitely got to have a paradigm shift. You have to change the way you have that stinking thinking. And the only way you could do that, you got to get around some people that inspire you.
Yeah.
Go into some places you feel like you're not supposed to be. The thing that changed my life one day was going across, it was a mall called Somerset in Troy, Michigan. And for the longest, I thought I could never go to the other side of the mall. Till my one day, my friend Dante, who was so fabulous, that's where all the high-end stores are. But in my mind, I'm like, well, I got Somerset on the other side money, Macy's, stuff like that. One day he said, just come on over there. I went over there, Chanel, all kinds of places. Now, I couldn't afford things in there, but I could afford a wallet. I could afford a keychain. I could go over there. That changed my life to be able to go to the other side of the mall. That meant some of us won't even go see things because we think we're not allowed.
Yeah.
We think we don't want people to look at us funny. And you'll be surprised. There's things over there you can obtain. Yeah. And I love that because it changed the trajectory of my life and how I think. So I'm willing to go places that in spaces that I'm not comfortable.
You know what's interesting? I felt like that most of my life going to those stores.
Really?
100%. I felt like that most of my life until maybe like there was something changed. Maybe when the business blew up and I just felt a little bit more comfortable. And then I did. And, like our Christmas party at Private Label, we're giving out Gucci. Like it's all it's purses, bags.
Private Label.
They know me. Like I come with like the whole thing. I'm Santa. We do this big giveaway every year. But it's funny, like before I thought I would have to get like dressed up to go and do this.
No.
Now when I go, I try to look like a bum when I go into Gucci. I try to go look like a bum when I go in there. And then they'll look up my account and be like, oh, hi, Mr. Moran.
Would you like some champagne?
And I'm always like, no, but I'm just like, I just need to get some things for the staff. They're like, wait, you're buying stuff for your employees?
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Be good to your people.
Nothing for me, but for them.
That's always Mikey.
But that's true because they're even the recent car I have, I'm like, I didn't know what type of car I wanted. I said, but if I want that type of car, let me go to the dealership. Girl, I have a dime in my pocket. I had the audacity to go in there. Can I test drive this? And guess what? A year or so later, I got that same car. And because I needed to know I can do it and it's obtainable.
And normally it's the audacity that's going to get you right over the hump.
Yeah. So you need a lot of audacity in this business, please. If you got to rent or buy it or borrow it, just get some audacity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes just knowing you can do it is just, and then doing it. So it's like knowing you can do it, then you do it. But the thing that I found over the last few years is once I've done it, then I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like,
yes.
It is this whole other thing. So now, like, I used to have, and I got it part because we were supposed to be on this TV show, but like, I got this real flashy car.
Okay.
And then I ended up selling it. And then now I drive, my business partner gave me kind of a vintage BMW. It's pretty cool. It's like 26 years old now.
Wow.
And it's just like, my car is 26 years old. I'm cruising through Atlanta. I've never had so much fun.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's just kind of like, you don't worry about it anymore. And you just you can just be yourself. And it's such a good feeling.
I think,
but you have to go through that part of the things.
That's what I was getting to.
You have to go through that. So I'm so thankful in life that I went through that part.
Yeah.
Because I just always thought this is what I had to have in my life. And when I had it,
then when you get it, it's like, that's not it. What is this for? I learned a very hard lesson. That's like costly mistakes. Come on,
it's a costly mistake. But you have to go through that. And it's just, I feel like it's the evolution of life and business that we go through this. And the younger you can do all this, the better. Just get it out of the way.
Yes.
And then things just kind of like everything, that's when you get that more woosah. Like I'm here. Wherever I am, I'm here. This is life. I feel good.
Yeah.
I think I love what you just said. I think once you get to that place, you become a better human being too.
For sure.
Because then you can give, because you understand, like, you don't realize it, but when you get over there, it is not all.
It ain't what you think it is.
That's why you can have people that have all those things and they're jealous of the simple things you have. They envy those things because that's what they desire too. And it's just some things you can't buy. So I would just say, like, just enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride and be kind to people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are going through a lot right now. Just be kind.
Sure. A lot. Let's talk about True New.
Yes.
Okay. So let's get into True New. So that is hair loss specialist. It's your hair loss specialist or scalp. Explain kind of
what True New Scalp is, formerly known as Deconstruct by Christina.
Right.
True New Scalp are hair systems. They're essentially, I'm a vendor. Okay, so I provide hair systems, in particular, full lace and polyurethane, different types of polyurethane, different types of full lace products that have different textures and stuff like that. And what I have done is marry the tech. Now, this is what initially happened. This is what really made it pop. I used our product as a stylist and highlighted what I did well.
Gotcha.
So it's not just a short hair company. You know why it looks beautiful? Because it's short hair. It's because I'm a great short hair stylist.
I know that's right.
Okay. So that's why I'm able to transform on this wonderful product. I have the product, but the skills I have gained over the years of being a short hair stylist, I have mimicked that on the product. It's great quality hair. And because I understand the complexities that are involved with what looks natural versus what looks like commercial hair, I've been able to create like density decreasing methods that work to fool the eye in believing like this looks like this lady's hair. And that's rare because there's tons of long hair, like long hair stylists and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but it wasn't a niche for short ones. So that's why I kind of led with that. However, the brand has grown.
Okay.
So a lot of stylists that come to me, they're attracted to because I had that niche right there. So we work with clients that have lost their hair due to leukemia or cancers or alopecia. And what we do is we work with what they currently have. I show them the techniques and the density decreasing methods, also how to blend, how to melt the lace, all that kind of stuff, or work with the polyurethane. And our goal, again, is like I was talking in the beginning, is to pair the product with the stylist with whatever their signature is. I always tell them when they come into class, we're not practicing on things that you saw online. What are you good at? What do you currently do right now in your salon that you could do without even thinking about it? Because what I'm going to need you to do is replicate this on our True New Scalp. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this home. You're going to find a client within your business, create some ambassadors within there so you could build your confidence. And I want you to do this style over and over again. That will become your draw. So when people are looking at your work, they know you know how to do this, not just okay, but well, and you know how to do different versions of it. So this is why I'm starting now to get more in front of the product, pushing the product with other stylists leading with what they did with the product versus it just being Christina Benjamin. Because a lot of times people are like, well, I went to the class and, do they know how to do this? Well, did you look at their work? They may not be a short hair stylist. And I'm going to be honest, if you're not really strong in the hair cutting, you may need to take some hair cutting classes on top of my class. Because if your work didn't stand out as a stylist already, being able to come to the class just because I gave you a hair system, that's not going to take it to the next level. So that's why we have ongoing training. And so that's where I'm so excited to be able to come from behind the chair and really promote the product. So I also can get more instructors that teach with True New Scalp, because there are already so many great stylists out here that I would love to be able to teach clinicals on different specialties for clients to be able to do and perform on these hair systems, because there's so many great stylists out here and we all have different niches and we're all really good at things.
I like that. So for the women who are coming to you, to the women who have cancer or alopecia, are they able to use insurance since it's a medical condition?
Right now we're growing into that. I'll be honest, insurance is a tricky thing. And I can work with, you come in, we could do the reimbursement as far as like provide the invoicing. I haven't got to that level yet because honestly, a lot of them do private pay. I work with Cherry Financing, Affirm, PayPal. They have their own financing. And sometimes with these insurance companies, what they consider 100% may not even be even touching the total balance.
Gotcha.
So, but if you have a client that, are able to, their insurance don't mind paying out of network, then we work with that.
Gotcha.
But again, we do have different payment pathways for people to come in. And it is an investment. They're not wigs. When I created it, I went into not labeling it as wigs because the psyche behind wig and hair system are two different. The value point is different.
There's a big difference between, because I'm deep in this
industry,
industry,
which you.
People don't know, don't know I do that, but like a lot. So like in this world, we call it like a fashion wig, right? So that's kind of the wigs that everyone's used to. That's what we sell here, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the medical grade wig, which is going to be a completely different wig.
Yeah.
The way it's constructed, the time of construction is often up to 60 days, depending on the type of cap that you're using. You're also, once again, going to get into the different types of grades of hair, which is going to be client specific, where you can have costs like at, affordable to like, holy cow, this is expensive. Even getting into like, if someone's going to have to go through chemotherapy, we know they're going to lose all their hair. Something I'm even working on is where you shave your head beforehand, you give them a replacement type of hair, and you can actually take their original hair. You're going to lose some length because of ventilation process or the way it works to actually make a wig with their hair, fill in with a similar color. This is very advanced, by the way.
It's very advanced.
And expensive, but it's possible.
Yeah.
And that does take some time. We've actually, so with the Bronner brothers, James Bronner even introduced me to, I got to get her on the podcast. We have someone we worked with where she has the patent on it's a wig that is, what is it? The silk inside. And she has the patent. So I made her some of these. It has like the bang and everything, which is good for hair loss clients. It's a whole industry that now with an aging population, the need for this continues to grow. So I think you've pivoted in the right area because of the need and the lack of knowledge in this area.
Absolutely. I love that you spoke to that. And that has been one of the biggest challenges in explaining and re-educating not only students, but clients. Because they want to look at everything like this. It's not. It's levels. And honestly, to the level of what you were talking about with the type of ventilation, if I wanted to sell that to the general public, most of them couldn't afford that unless they had assistance. So what I had to do was take units that were already on the market and deconstruct them. The brand is evolving into right what you're talking to, because we want to specifically have that type of unit. That's just that medical grade. But I'm so proud of the work we've done thus far and where we're evolving, because with me building the brand, I would like to leverage my brand so you may not want to be a hair company, but you want to service non-surgical hair replacement clients. But you need to be with a company that's known and trusted. So it's easier for you to sell the product, and we are able to help build you up. So I really spend a lot of time talking to the stylists when they come into class about, you're going to have to redefine your services. These are going to go on your medical wig services now, or non-surgical hair replacement services. So you can't keep doing that same quick weave. You need to rename that. You got to rebrand it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's completely, this is
totally different.
Totally different.
So
totally different.
Are all of your students stylists, hairstylists, or can someone who is a non-hairstylist come and take the course, learn, and be able to do that?
We want to keep it professional. You need to be licensed. You're working with chemicals because you're going to be working with adhesives. A lot of times you're going to be working with shampoo is considered a chemical too.
Got it.
You know that. Yeah, in school they teach us that. Like even or just color and stuff like that. And of course there's different adhesive removers and stuff. Yeah, you need to know how to also sanitize the units properly. So and it also brings a different level of it's a profession. It's not a hobby. We want to attract professionals that do this. We want the general public to know when they go to one of our professionals, they're licensed. They've been trained by the best. They're versed. You know, they have years of experience. So also this brand is not something I'm just trying to give away to everybody. I want to make sure it's in stylist hands that they care.
Yeah.
They have integrity. And they don't want to be in something that's oversaturated.
Like
that being said, we can do more quality control.
Yes, absolutely. I asked that because I wasn't sure if it was similar to the India's.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. And, you know, we talked before this, how I said, you know, we created this podcast, Zakiyrah and I, we've been doing this. Zakiyrah, I thought it was 7 years. It's 9 years.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we've been doing this for 9 years.
Glad I got in now because
well,
be hard to get back on here.
We've been doing this for 9 years, and it's just been we have learned so much by the guests that we have on here.
Yes.
Right. And giving them the platform to speak, and we continue to learn. And it's just been amazing to have people like yourself on that are doing stuff to help a community in need with the hair loss, because I understand when people start losing their hair, they start losing their confidence.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
They start losing their self-worth. They do not act the same in public. They don't want to go out anymore. And to find solutions to help that and keep it professional and to educate others that there is ways that, you know, you can get help with this is very important.
Yeah. Absolutely. Amen to that. You just said it all.
Yeah. So where is True New and what is it evolving to?
Affiliation. I'm working on my first franchise. I want to be the hair club for just like how you have Paul Mitchell School. I model myself after that. I want the same
franchise. Yes.
I want the same concept as a hair club for men, but you know, it'd be something that caters to, and I'll just have to speak to this as an African American woman. A lot of the clients that I have dealt with that have come from those type of clinics, there's just not enough representation to know how to style our hair, because as African Americans, we're very creative with our hair. We just are. It's a part of us. And if you don't really understand how to cut and style, it can look like a toupee. That doesn't make anyone feel good to first of all, already be struggling with hair loss, but to leave like they have a toupee. Even with some men, sometimes I see at some of these clinics like, this looks like a rug on his head. How can he feel confident? There's some amazing barbers. I would like it to grow into even the barbers are carrying our products, because there's some amazing. Do you understand what giving a man a hairline would do for this man?
Oh, a whole lot.
I've even seen lace front beards.
A whole lot. You know what? I've seen
I have a picture
too.
of me with the lace front beard.
Yes.
Because I go to all the shows. So I'm gonna pull one up for you.
I'm like,
baby, I'm just saying.
that is not the same man.
That is, listen.
No.
But it just shows you that it's so much talent out here. And so it's really just about finding people that are talented and pairing them with a great opportunity. But you gotta understand our vibe to cut our hair. You do have to understand and be immersed so much in what we like and what flatters, especially African American women. So I love for my brand to grow and to be very diverse for everyone, but I always want to keep us in mind, because we spend the most, but we're not thought of.
You want to see something funny? Lace front beard. I got the lace front beard. You know, a little sample, a little just testing us. I was at a big hair show overseas.
I love
it.
I
saw it and I said, "Oh,
I gotta have it."
I wanted. So who was joking with it? Darnell Rawlings was always joking with Charlemagne about it. So I think I text Darnell of like, hey, do you want me to get one of these and for you to send to Charlemagne just to mess with him? Because it would be so funny. Yeah, but anyways, that's a whole nother story. But,
I love it.
But there's a lot. And one of the things, you know, to be honest with you, that I've noticed, because you brought it up, is, you know, that you have multiple demographics.
Yeah.
And everybody is struggling with hair loss.
Yes. Okay? Oh my God.
Even when I was at a huge hair show in China, and I was like probably the only American guy there. Really, like it was all Chinese. And a lot of it, now that you're getting a aging Chinese population, a lot of their stuff was hair loss. But one thing I also noticed with the medical grade wig side is they're not doing a lot of textured hair, which, I solve that problem. But like I thought there was a need for that. And that was always, so it's like a textured hair product and then making it look as realistic as possible. And some of that is finding the right stylist to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And just to be, there's sometimes just these little tweaks because there's not so like we said, the fashion side wigs, the innovation of the fashion side wigs over the last 10, 15 years has increased greatly to look just as natural as possible. Yeah. On the medical side, there's been a lot less innovation from the natural look.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've always I've been working on for the last few years. That is very difficult. But then that missing piece is what you have is the stylist side that knows how to actually apply it and teach the client how to do this in an easy way, all the difference in the world.
Oh, we going to talk after this show. Because you're onto something, brother. Let me just tell you, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And it's and what better person to be able to help evolve it than True New Scout by Christina Benjamin.
Oh, yes. Yes. I love it. Okay, so, and we got into products.
Okay.
Yes. Let's talk about we got to talk about the products.
Yes, I have Simply Stay Put. That's our lace adhesive.
Okay.
Also I have
Simply Stay Put. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. That's really cute. I like that.
I went and got that trademark. Shout out to the biz lawyer.
Yes.
She does all my trademarks. But and then I went and got the True New our grippy spray. Now that's for it's not waterproof, but it's sweat proof. So it's really good for daily use. We have this thing where a lot of them come in and like, can we do glueless? Why do you want your unit to just fall off? But okay, girl, I had to create something that they can have for daily use.
And it'll stay.
Yeah.
Trust me, you don't want that wig to fall off.
Why would you want it to? But a lot of it comes
Don't laugh, Mikey.
There's that video. I'll never forget that video.
You want your unit to fall off your head. But some of them are just like, I don't want that on my head. It's just like, that's because you're used to having a fashion wig. Mm-hmm. You're not used to having a medical grade hair system.
Yeah.
And for cranial prosthesis, that's no different than someone having an arm that's missing and they go in and have something curated for them, like a arm that looks and feels a lot like their natural arm. It's certain things you have to do to make sure that arm just not gonna fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the same thing with the cranial prosthesis. There's certain things that you may need. Nobody wants to feel like if they roll their window down or they may be lifting, they may have been sweating, so I'm always like, I try to educate the clients, but also try to have variety because everyone that comes to me don't necessarily like have hair loss. Like me, I can even wear our hair systems and I have, but my application is different. For me, it's more of a fashion. It's not a cranial prosthesis. So it's a little different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you have the...
and then we have hair systems.
Okay. And people can purchase those.
They can purchase it, but those are mainly like pre-cut.
Okay.
Somewhat. I always say it's better to get a short hair look. You can get away with it with longer ones a little bit. Short ones, you really need to sit in a technician's chair.
And get it.
I can't give you a custom cut just because you gave me measurements. I don't know where your eyebrows are.
Yeah.
I don't know the spacing of your forehead. How about how broad are your shoulders? All that stuff matters when you're doing a short haircut.
Especially, yeah.
Can't sell that by mail.
Certain styles don't look good with certain,
So we have a collection that's a ready-to-wear collection. Okay. Now that's for avid wig wearers.
Okay.
You're more advanced. You're used to making adjustments. I'm able to give you something better than what you would have just pulled out the box. Mm-hmm. And it does have somewhat of a style. But I always recommend if you can't come to me, go to one of our trained stylists. But it's going to be worth the investment. And I always speak to them as investments.
For sure.
Because they are.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
The care goes a little different and it costs more.
Yeah. And so how long is that process? If someone were to come to you and wanted to get the hair system, what does that process look like?
It's not an in and out process because literally I'm deconstructing it on your head. It could be about 5 to 6 hours sometimes for one person. And it's all private. So essentially you're purchasing my day.
Yeah, that's a day right there.
Yeah, that is the day.
But imagine going from doing 10, 15 clients to doing maybe
1, 2.
Mm-hmm. And you're still making more. You have quality of life and you feel good about what you do. And the clients, they appreciate it.
And you got your time back.
You can do a little more. You can live a little more, create memories.
I love that. So where can people find the products? Where can they book you?
They can go on. I am very active on social media. You can go on Instagram, Christina Benjamin 82. All my IG handles are pretty much the same. Well, not IG handles, social media handles such as Facebook, Instagram. I believe is not Instagram. Keep talking about Instagram. TikTok is I am Christina Benjamin. I'm still kind of new to TikTok, learning. Yeah. Then we have the YouTube Christina Benjamin. You could also go on. Let me see, TrueNewScout.com. That's where you could purchase our quality products as well as classes and appointments and all that kind of stuff. It walks you through that. And I mean, I am located in Atlanta. Okay. So I'm on the West End area now. I just moved over there. Okay. So I'm there until I get my building. So
and you take appointments. Do you open your books up months in advance, or is it just?
I do it a month at a time because they go pretty fast. Yeah. So we normally have you call in for a consultation first. Everyone's not a candidate. Mm-hmm. I feel before you even get to it and you spend all this money, you need to understand the product that you're asking for. You know, you have to see, does this work for you? Are you willing to do not even just the investment, but it's called maintenance. Yeah. It's not a one and done. Living in these hair systems is a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's different from a fashion wig than a hair replacement. And I also, in good ethics, want to make sure I'm pairing you with a product that is functional for you and that it's just not you spent all this money on. Yeah. I can't spend people's money, but I don't want my unit just sitting in a box somewhere. Mm-hmm. So, I have a lot of out-of-town clients, and what we try to do is pair them with stylists that have proven that they can do it again and again from the class. So if they feel comfortable, I always tell them, go get a consult with them, see if you like their body of work. They're not me. None of us are the same. Mm-hmm. But once I put your cut on there, somebody should be able to, go ahead and curl it and attach it, especially if they've done one of our classes. But so that's one of those things. So they can go in there and do the consultation. I spend a lot of time on the consultation. We're very forthcoming with the pricing. I don't give pricing online because it's customized. For sure. And if you only want the price, you're not the right client for me anyway, because I have to see what you need. So that's not fair to me as a stylist because I don't know what you actually need. Yeah. So we do have, we try to give like a base pricing so you kind of know, and some interview questions before you even get to the consultation, so you're not feeling like you're wasting your time. Okay. And it's a simple process. How
does upkeep work for the person on the receiving end of it? Is it very easy for them to upkeep at home? Or?
Yes. Okay. Yes. I feel if you are already, say you wear short hair already, if you know how to take care of your short hair, great. It's really like once I put it on your head, I tell them this is your hair now. Take care of it like your hair. Mm-hmm. But if you were the type of client that even when you had hair, you didn't take good care of your hair, and you were a weekly or a bi-weekly client, you may need to come for a wash and a curl in between. Or if you're not in state, you may need to go to your stylist so she can wash and curl it until it's time for you to take it off. Gotcha. I see you again.
Yeah, that's me. So, I'm not touching my hair. It's I'll be there this
But
week.
That's another reason why I make sure I spend a lot of time in the cut, and I give them, you rock your cut afterwards. Like me, I have a haircut, but I don't do nothing to my hair. I just slick it back and gel it up and stuff like that.
And you don't got to do much.
I don't have to do much. It's good. But that's because I work within the scope of what I know how to do. So when clients are bringing me pictures, I'm like, that's cute on her, but do you know how to maintain that? So like, they're like, oh yeah, no, I don't know how to do it. Okay, well, let's focus on something that you know how to do so it looks good when you're out. Because essentially with short hair, most of the times when we are out and people say, oh, your hair looks so good, I'm like, my hair look a mess. They're looking at your cut. Your cut is the foundation. So we all love a good cut. Yes. So, you don't have to have curls for that. So that's what I focus on.
I like that. Okay. So there is people out there who have leukemia, cancer, alopecia, and they may be discouraged of what to do with their hair or how they look. What's a piece of encouragement or some encouragement that you would give them?
You have options now. Yeah. And thanks to social media, you're not alone. You're not weird. You're not crazy. You're not ugly. You're still wanted. You're still beautiful. And after you get through the hair part, you have a testimony. And when you overcome, please tell somebody. Because just like how you struggle, somebody else is struggling. In private, somebody won't go for that promotion. Someone won't even tell their kids that they lost their hair. Some people won't go out and live. I deal with this daily. So I want you to know, like, it's not like how it used to be. And it's some great stylists out here that would take great care of you. You know, trust the process, do your research. And I would just say, you know, keep hope alive, because it's so much hope out here. Yeah. We have evolved. This is not the 1960s anymore. Things look a little different. So, you know, I love it. I love where we're at, and I love social media for that. And that's what I try to do, is I try to give a face to alopecia, because we're warriors. You are not your hair. You're beautiful. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Christina Benjamin here with us, chilling out in the studio. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. If you guys have not listened to the latest podcast, make sure you go on, like, comment, subscribe. If there's anyone who you want to see next, drop it in the comments or shoot us an email, and we'll make sure we get them in the chair. Until next time.
Later.